Emily from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Saturday, July 1st. So welcome to July. I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and take a listen to all the forecasts, all the content that I put out for the beginning of every month. It'd be a great time for you to jump over, become a Patreon subscriber if you're not already, as there is the majority of new content, new information, new navigational tools being offered to you as we enter into a new vibration, a new life lesson, and of course, a new month. So besides the fact that we're jumping into a new life lesson of 7, by the way, we are in the zone of the moon being in Sag, which brings us a lot of confidence, a lot of optimism. We're thinking more about our goals, the vision, the dream that we want to manifest. Saturdays, of course, are ruled over by Saturn, so we're very focused on the structure, the discipline needed in order to build the foundation that is going to bridge the gap from where it is that we're at to where it is that we desire to be. It's a very busy day in the cosmos. There are 15 different aspects taking place here today. All 10 will involve the moon. So the moon in Sag, very fiery, very optimistic, opening us up to a new adventure, a new quest for information, for knowledge, for experience. It's going to be making a positive interaction with the true node, the north node, still in Taurus energy. What this is doing for us is it's putting us in a situation to see what it is that we want to kind of move towards, and the steps, the plan, the strategy that we have to implement in order to actually get us there. This means that we are essentially growing. We are identifying the process and the progress needed in order to get us from where it is at, from where it is that we are at to where it is that we desire to be. My apologies, tongue getting the best of me here today. And in doing so, we're really kind of hyped up. Like we feel like we can accomplish anything with the moon and Sag. So it is okay to kind of dream a bigger dream than what it is that we're actually going to be able to accomplish in one sitting at this point in time, because at least that vision gives us the inspiration and the motivation to get the wheels a turning and to do the research and the exploration needed in order to come up with a proper plan and strategy to actually get us moving forward. So Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information, ruler of communication, who is in this Cancer energy, is going to come up to, bump into, conjunct the sun. This is what we call a chasmy. And this is a very, very potent energy window. If we were just talking about Mercury and the sun doing their little thing, this is like a epiphany, an aha moment, a download of ideas, a download of information, details, clarity that we've really been longing for on the foundation needed in our lives in order for us to kind of build towards what it is that we're building towards. The Debbie Downer of this situation is that although this particular aspect may be a lovely one, this particular aspect is actually forming some not so nice aspects with Mars and technically Jupiter. Jupiter's involved. It's not necessarily a bad aspect, but Jupiter is involved. Jupiter tends to magnify, turn the volume all the way up on whatever it is that's going on. And the semi-square, in particular to Mars, is going to bring out a lot of tense energies, a lot of impatience, a lot of aggression, a lot of frustration. And what we don't want is we don't want anger to push us into making moves and taking action to make a change. We don't want to make the change and transformation needed right now based off of anger, based off of fear, based off of insecurities. We don't want restless and nervous energy being infused in our creation story because we're in a brand new chapter of bringing things to life here. So it may be that maybe our conversations take a little bit of a frustrating turn. Maybe we're lacking patience, or people are lacking patience with us. Maybe we have poor listening skills. Maybe we're just listening to somebody, just waiting for them to shut up so that we can put our 2 cents in, or maybe vice versa. Regardless, it's not going to be a very nice exchange. Now, still from that, there is a high potential of having aha moments, downloads, and epiphanies kind of enter into our realm. But again, it's going to be fueled out of frustration and agitation more than it is going to be a hopeful, wish type of scenario. The moon is going to interact with the sun. So the moon in Sag, fire energy. The sun in Cancer is a water energy. These two are interacting to provide us with a decision point, a crossroads point, And here's the thing, the moon in Sag energy has us hyped up, dreaming a bigger dream, biting off more than we can chew. And the sun in Cancer energy just needs us to simplify. Instead of being focused on our greatest wants, we should be focused on our greatest needs. We have to be building a foundation that is going to provide us with safety, security, and stability. And so this like dreaminess, this excitement, this optimism that we can just, bring to life whatever it is that we want to bring to life, that the moon in Sag tends to kind of put us in the perspective of, we need to dumb that down. We can't really be so consumed and focused on, wants versus needs right now. We really have to build a more stable foundation on providing us the safety, security, and stability that we need before we start going out and being fun, fancy free, and really just going after what it is that we want and desire. The moon will then interact with Mercury, which is going to be a total disconnect of the heart and head. Again, this fiery energy of Sag is very unfocused and very focused on the future, while the Cancer energy that Mercury is currently in is very focused on simplifying, especially by taking what hasn't been working in a past situation and scenario and using that as a framework to build something stronger, something more stable, something more supportive. So this is another aspect in the run of the day that could throw a wrench in our conversations and create some misunderstandings and some miscommunications that could get pretty messy if we're triggered, if we're edgy, if we're feeling that nervous energy. It's going to be even more amplified because the moon goes ahead and makes the same kind of interaction with Jupiter, its ruler. So Jupiter, again, is here to kind of turn the volume all the way up on what it is that we're experiencing right now. And there's a little bit of a cluster F between the moon in Sag and Jupiter in Taurus energy, because the fire energy wants us to take action, make moves, really be inspired and motivated to go after new adventures. The Taurus energy that Jupiter is in is very grounded. It's a fixed sign. It really doesn't want to make any sudden moves, any sudden changes. So we get a little bit of a frustration and aggravation being amplified because there is like this stop and go energy. We're restless. We don't know what to do with the energy. We don't know what the plan, the action moving forward actually is. Mercury is going to sextile Jupiter. This is kind of what I was speaking on when we talked about the Mercury and Sun conjunction. Having a semi-square applies a little bit of a pressure, a tension, a conflict. And, Mercury kind of semi-squaring with Mars. Mars is about energy, passion, aggression, even anger. And right now, he's in the heart and soul of the zodiac in Leo energy, trying to align with our heart space and truly take action on making moves and nearing ourselves to passion projects and goals that are in the vibration of our higher self. And Mercury, being in this Cancer energy, is just very connected to the past. And because of that, we're kind of blocking our own progress. We're blocking our ability to be inspired. We're blocking our ability to even think clearly on what it is that our heart is asking us to pursue. So this is where things can definitely get aggressive and frustrating and messy in a lot of ways. And this can definitely have our conversations taking a not so nice turn, getting heated in ways that nobody really understands what the problem is, because everybody is just agitated, very defensive in this Cancer energy, very protective in this Cancer energy. And Mars, again, very aggressive, coming at us with major changes, major moves that we want to make, and yet we are frustrated because the universe is not providing us with the green light go ahead to actually make those moves. The Sun in Cancer energy is now going to sextile with Jupiter. This is going to bring a little bit of brightness back to our day, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of optimism, ground us out a little bit, return us to the more simplified perspective that we need to have. Again, the moon in Sag has us kind of going balls to the walls with all of the possibilities of the future. And we are more concentrated on the here and now, with the sun shining a bright light and this Cancer energy on what we have to do in order to build ourselves up to a place of stability, of health and wellness. The sun shining a bright light in this Cancer energy should be showing us where it is that we have to heal, where it is that we have to kind of make extra efforts in order to fill the voids within ourselves, what we have to do to kind of implement and create some boundaries in our physical realms for new structures to actually be built. And in some cases where relationship dynamics are concerned, where boundaries need to be implemented and created in order for us to kind of protect ourselves in a lot of ways. Now, Jupiter, who is about growth and expansion, beliefs, abundance, and blessings here in this Taurus energy for the next year, is giving us a grounded approach on how it is that we want to kind of restructure our physical realms in order to create a reality that not only looks good, but that feels good too. And so the Cancer energy, which is emotional in nature, the Taurus energy, which is physical in nature, is kind of illuminating for us where it is that we have to kind of do what feels good, what feels right, that provides us with safety, security, stability, and familiarity in this here and now, which goes against the major changes and transformations that the moon in Sag wants us to make right now. So the moon in Sag then goes ahead and semi-squares Pluto, the great transformer who is retrograde in this Capricorn energy. This is going to bring a lot of frustration out, a lot of tension out, a lot of power struggles out, especially in our inner realm that likely will overflow and manifest in our personal relationships. Now, the Pluto energy is showing us where old structures, old relationships, old ideas, old projects, where they need to die, where they need to be destroyed if they're not serving a higher purpose of helping us feel safe, secure, and stable to move forward. The moon in Sag is, again, a fire energy that is very unfocused, very focused on the possibilities of the future with no real detail on what that may look like, just kind of hyping us up in a lot of ways. But here's the thing. The Sag energy is also about our wisdom, our knowledge. And right now we know better, but we're not doing better. And this is going to aggravate the F out of us, because when we know better, we have to do better, but yet we don't know how to do better because we don't know what that looks like. We've never done it before. And so this is going to trigger a lot of thought processes, a lot of emotions, in order for us to kind of sort out what it is that we need to move away from, what it is that we need to stop struggling with, where it is that we need to align with the intuition of our higher self, of the higher wisdom and knowledge, and really see where it is that we have to kind of build a better path in order for us to get away from the things that we need to destroy and strengthen that path to illuminate the direction in which we need to go. The moon will then interact with Jupiter once again in a very positive way. This is going to bring the hype girl energy back. This is going to reassure for us that, guess what? We are seeing some puzzle pieces emerge from that funk that we had to sit in. We are understanding where it is that we have to kind of change the narrative, change our belief system up, change the goal, the vision, the dream up, where it is that we have to kind of be inspired once again and remind ourselves what that inspiration, what that dream, what that vision actually is. And so this is a good energy to kind of break us out of that funk, but not very much time after this particular energy kind of brings us out of that dark hole. We're going to settle into another level of confusion of what the plan, what the step, what the strategy may be when the moon interacts with the true node, the north node of the moon. So this is the path that we need to get on, but we don't know what that path looks like. And let me just throw something at you. Right now, most of the answers that we're looking for as far as what our future path is going to look like is found in the past. And a lot of that is found in the past, realizing what it is that we don't want to experience and what it is that we want to move away from. And sometimes we just need to kind of get our asses moving, get our asses in gear to walk away from the things that we no longer want to experience and trust that the path, the way forward will be illuminated in due time. So then the sun in Cancer goes ahead, semi-squares, which is not a very fun vibe, with Mars. Mars being in this Leo energy, the heart and soul of the zodiac. So this is where we get restless, we get angry, we get frustrated, where there is an impulse to go ahead to take action and make moves that I don't think we should be making moves in. Why? Because there's a certain extent, because we're building towards a full moon, we're not in a time of making major change. What we're in a time of is being illuminated to new ideas, new information, new emotions, new opportunities. But The Mars energy wants to take action now, and we can't take action now. It's not time to take action now. It's a time to realize the actions that we want to take and formulate a plan and a strategy so that we're not wasting time and energy. And so the sun shining a bright light in Cancer energy, which is again very attached to the past, and Mars being very attached to a forward movement, there is a disconnect here because emotionally speaking, we're not in the right emotional frame of mind to make the major moves that Mars wants us to make. We're moving out of restlessness, out of just the impulse. We're looking to take aggressive moves and make some risks that we don't emotionally agree with right now. We're just taking action for the sake of taking action. We can't do that. We're in a very interesting time of the creation story. We can't afford to just be taking action willy-nilly without our heart and our head actually supporting those actions. So this is going to be a little bit of a frustrating vibe, but shortly thereafter, the moon in Sag goes ahead and trines, beautiful energy, with Chiron, the wounded healer, and trines with Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, money, who is in the Leo heart and soul energy as well. What we get from these two interactions is a good sense of tapping into some wisdom and knowledge that we've already accumulated through past experiences and tough love life lessons that has us understanding what needs to be done in order to heal and reconcile some of our relationships. Relationships taking a major hit here in July. So we're really going to see a lot of different activations with Chiron, with Venus, both of them going retrograde throughout the month of July. Listen to the energy forecast so that you understand what July is all about. Download the e-guides that I've created in order to help you navigate these energies. But we are essentially seeing a different perspective emerge on what it is that we want to take action on, what we're passionate about, what we're excited about in healing, in reconciling, in moving forward in some very specific relationship dynamics. The last thing that we got going on here today is the moon making an interaction with Uranus, the Great Awakener, which is going to illuminate some choice points. Now, the Taurus energy that Uranus is in, of course, is a fixed sign. It wants us to kind of stick with the same old, not because it's happy, but because it's familiar and predictable. And the moon in Sag is just like, life is too short for that. We do not need to stay in circumstances and situations that are boring, that we've outgrown just because it gives us a sense of power to be able to predict the outcome. Sometimes we need to kind of move into foreign territory and really go on an adventure where we don't know what we're doing, where we don't know what to expect, in order for the best parts of life to actually have a space to be birthed into. So the moon interacting with Uranus in this way is actually creating a different level of confusion. It is pulling us out of wanting to be around people because we're kind of in a funk. The nervous energy has us all kind of restless and agitated in our own bodies, in our own skin. We recognize where it is that some circumstances in our lives need a dramatic overhaul, renovation, and makeover. But energetically speaking, we're not in alignment with our heart and head to actually go ahead and make those decisions, make those choices, and make those moves as of yet. So instead, we just got to sit here and kind of bounce those nervous energies, restless energies, disappointing energies around. It would be a great idea if you could engage the physical body in some kind of physical activity that would allow a healthy outlet for this energy to kind of get out of our bodies and not bounce around so much. Because let me just tell you, if you hold it in and if you stay in a state of non-movement, you are going to have a lot of emotional outbursts that aren't going to be pleasant, that are going to lead into messy situations and conversations that you are going to have to clean up after the full moon hits.